Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Strager with Luxury Estates International. I am here with Ana Morales of Anova Mortgage.
There you go.
And she is here to tell you about the market, about her business, about different programs, about where she thinks the market is going. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Buenas.
Thank you for having me here.
For sure, for sure. So, how long have you been in the business?
I've been doing mortgage loans for a little bit over 15 years.
Okay. And you own your own mortgage company?
I own my own company now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woman owned, minority owned.
Yes,
It's
yes.
extremely
Latina.
exciting. Amazing. And so you've been in the business about 15 years, and tell us what it's like to own your own mortgage company.
You know what? Crazy thing. I decided to start my own company in 2020.
Okay.
During COVID,
Okay.
right? Like, I don't know what I was thinking now, but you know what? It was probably the best decision that I could have made. I took a leap of faith, and here we are. I mean, right? After people telling us, you're crazy, you're opening it during COVID, the worst time, the worst market, because
Okay.
people thought we were going to crash. And here we are. I mean, I think it's probably like one of the best markets. The best markets.
So I actually thought it was going to crash as well. And I thought it
know.
was going to crash 15 to 20%. I was like, that's it. It's over. And things ended up doubling. Right?
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
but what made you open up your own mortgage company?
You know what? At that point, like I had no other choice. Like we were going to open a company with a partner. And once I moved over, things kind of shifted a bit. You know, whatever we had decided, that wasn't going to happen anymore. So I was at a point that, you know what, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of moving. I'm tired of having somebody else control things.
Right.
And I kind of just took a leap of faith. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I know that I have the capacity of making things work.
Right.
So I just went for it.
And where do you see business today? And where do you see it first quarter 2023?
So I do foresee rates getting a little bit better, which
Okay.
has been like one of the biggest conversation points, right? Like where are rates going?
Right.
They have been probably at the highest that they have been in the last 20 years, the mortgage rates. So I do foresee getting better. So what I foresee, it's for having a little bit more demand come into the market,
Okay.
which it's going to be better because right now it's definitely a buyer's market, right? And once demand increases, we might not have that opportunity anymore.
For sure.
So that's kind of like what I foresee happening.
So what are normal rates? Because 2.5%, 3%, I try and explain to buyers. So I've been in the business 18 years. And buyers are telling me, oh, I'm going to wait for rates to come down, et cetera, et cetera. I go, they'll never be 2.5%, 3%. That is not normal.
Right.
So what is normal?
Mortgage rates, normal rates are somewhere in the 5s, even in the 6s.
Perfect.
Where right now we're even seeing them better than the 6s at this point. We're seeing them like in the 5s. So this is why I say like, hey,
This is a
things are gonna
normal
start
market.
changing. Absolutely.
So,
we're back to that.
And I'm trying to explain to people, look, there's about 8,000 homes on the market right now. These are normal rates. While everybody's freaking out, go buy a house during a normal rate. This is a normal rate anyways. You'll get a good deal because sellers are so desperate because buyers are, I feel like buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting. Right. And because they're watching the news and they're listening to everyone.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There was so much information back in 2020, right? Where
Right.
everybody was saying the market's gonna crash,
Right.
wait, right?
Right.
If you see my videos from 2020, I was like, buy.
Right.
Buy. It's
Right.
not gonna crash. Banks will not foreclose properties. That's
Right.
not what they're in business for.
Right.
They've learned their lesson from 2008, right?
I agree.
So right now, I'm still at the point that buy. It's the perfect time.
And so whether it's a $300,000 property or a $3 million property, in my experience, what I'm experiencing now is I'm able to get sellers to not only pay closing costs, but to pay a buy down rate
Absolutely.
towards the buyer's interest rate. So they're even getting better than what's normal,
Yes, absolutely.
right? So I'm seeing, so all the millionaires that I know, they never got rich buying at the height of the market. They always got rich when everybody was freaking out and the
course.
market was dropping. So how do you feel about that?
Same way. Same way. I've done quite a few jumbo loans where the clients are buying properties over $6 million.
Right.
And I've had a client pay over $500,000. This is like a client that owns 600 properties in a different state.
You got to give me his number.
So if this investor, right, knows the market and he's willing to pay $500,000 over appraised value, he knows something, right? So what do? I follow the people that know, right? The people that have gone through this. He's an older gentleman, so he's probably knows the market better than anybody. And he's investing $500,000 more on this property, then it means that he knows something, right?
Right. And, you know, properties that were worth X in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, property values will never go down to what that was before.
Absolutely.
So even though things are, I don't think it's dropping. I think it's more correcting.
I agree.
Because I think when COVID hit, everything doubled so quickly. People couldn't move because they didn't have a job.
Yeah.
So how are they going to qualify for something? How are they going to sell and qualify for something else? So they were stuck. Inventory drops.
There was so much money out there too. I mean, you know, all the help that a lot of people got.
Right.
That went into real estate.
100%. So are there any are there any programs that you have that can help people buy? Maybe there's a lot of, you know, because now we're seeing a lot of not just one buyer, but two, maybe three on a loan, right?
Right.
So are there any programs out there that can help first-time buyers or even second-time buyers?
Yeah, there's a lot of incentives out there. I mean, there's a down payment assistance program right now. The state of Nevada has the $15,000 down payment.
Right.
So literally, like if you get closing costs, a client can go in with $1,000, $2,000 to buy.
Right.
And not only that, I mean, there's other incentives out there. You know, I mean, you probably know better than I do how the sellers are helping buyers.
Sellers
get into homes.
Yeah, sellers are getting desperate. At $15,000, you figure that's 5% of $300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if agents are able to get the seller to pay closing costs and a buy down, they're coming out of pocket for what? Appraisal and home inspection?
Right.
And that's it.
And their earnest deposit.
And they're earnest. And that will get refunded to you if it's a 5%, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Is there any I-10 programs still out there? I know those kind of came in and out.
Yeah, there is. I mean, we have I-10 programs. There's some out there that probably are better than ours. But I mean, I tell my clients, look, if this is the only thing that we can do at this point, let's just get it done, right? Because there's not that many options out there. But we do offer I-10s as well. I mean, we have so many programs out there. I tell my buyer, we have bank statement programs, right? We have investors. We have the jumbo loans, we have obviously our traditionals, our FHA, VAs, we have reverse mortgages. So there's so many options out there that we have access to.
So I met Anna. I don't know how I met you. I can't remember. In the business, you meet so many people, it's impossible to remember how.
But we talked quite a while before we actually met in person.
I think so. And then I came to you. I had a few deals I couldn't get done, and I gave them to you, and you got it done.
Right.
I don't know how you got it done. So having your own mortgage company, you got to have a little bit more leeway there, right?
I have more control
to get things done. Right. So if you have a problem file or whatever, she controls it. Obviously, you're funding it, but you're not servicing it, right?
Correct. So we don't even fund it ourselves.
Okay.
We're the broker. So I have over 40 different investors. I think right now I have maybe like 50 investors that I work with, different lenders that we work with.
Okay.
So if my file doesn't work with one of my lenders, it's going to work with the other 49, right?
Okay.
Or if it doesn't work with 45, I have 5 others that it will work with. So that was the control kind of that I was looking for, because there's always a way, right? When people are willing, there's always a way.
Okay, awesome. And for those that don't know, you're a single mom?
I am.
Okay. And how many kids do you have?
You always make a joke about this, that I have like 10 kids. I'm like, come on, Nate. I have 3.
3 kids, right? But you look amazing.
Thank you.
And what do you like to do other than bust your butt in mortgages and grind and own your own company?
I love to travel.
Okay.
To disconnect myself, right? I mean, the family life and all that. It's amazing. I love it, but I do like to get away once in a while.
And where's your favorite place to go?
I mean, if it's somewhere like here close by, I love Zion.
Okay.
I love just going to Zion just for a weekend getaway. I would rather leave the country.
Right.
But right now, business, like it's priority and I love it. So
Right.
it's like, okay, weekend getaways, it's
Okay.
going to be better.
And anything personal you want people to know, like, I don't know, anything.
Like personal health.
Anything.
Personal.
Like, what do you like to do as a hobby?
As a hobby, I like to read a lot. Like I like to read. Depending on what mood I'm in, I think I have like 3 books that I've started that I haven't finished. And it depends what mood. That's the book that I kind of go into. What else? I mean, I love to meet people.
Okay.
So I'm always out just, networking, meeting
sure.
people.
For sure.
I love doing that, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for explaining, because, we're at the end of 22.
Yes.
And everybody's, I think everybody waits to see what everybody else does.
I know.
But then it's too late.
It's too late.
It's better to get ahead of the game. Even our camera guy was like, I don't know if I should rent or buy, or right now I'm renting. I'm like, you need to buy because everybody's on the sidelines, right?
You know what? An article just came out maybe like 5 days ago that Chase is spending $100 billion in buying rental properties. Rentals that they're going to rent it out. So that kind of gives us, right, for the future homeowner, like, hey, if banks are getting into the business of renting, that tells us something.
So all these non-performing trust deed notes are being sold to big market hedge funds that are renting. They're driving the prices up. They're driving the rental prices up. So it's not, I think I saw something like 90% of millionaires got rich off real estate, right?
Of course.
So
yeah.
buy in a down market. Don't buy when it's high, right? Look at crypto. Everybody was like, oh, crypto's going to... Anyways, that's another story. But
yeah, that's
anyways,
another.
Thank you for explaining, and thank you for your knowledge. And
thank you for having me.
And how can they find you? What's your phone number?
So our number is 702-234-7862. That is my direct number.
Okay.
So let's not get, a little bit crazy with those texts, guys.
Right.
But you can always find us on social media, Anova Mortgage. We're like all over the place, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Awesome. So knowledge, experience, her own company, she can get it done. So give her a call.
Beauty.
And this is what's coming. Beauty. So this is what's coming in 2023. Now is the time to buy.
Now is the time to buy.
So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.